What a beautiful morning. What a pleasure to be here with all of you as we get started this Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Blessed day, everyone. Great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, all over the world. So glad that we're here together as we sit down to go over here and do what we need to do to bring clarity in order to give us put us in a power position to go ahead and conquer these markets. Let me go ahead and timestamp this. This is starting. I'm going to put it at 4:50 this morning, adding those timestamps in the timestamps in the morning to help those that are watching the replay. And if you're watching the replay right now and you're getting ready for this session, getting ready for this Friday session, go ahead and smash the like button. I guarantee you, if you're smashing that like button, watching this video later in the day, it's still amping me up right now as I see those thumbs up fly. I see them all. Patience is a fruit. Jesse Livermore, The Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, one of the greatest books written about the markets, trading, relevant today, took place over 100 years ago. I made the most of my money by sitting on my hands and doing nothing. One of the greatest price action traders of all time. I made the greatest amount of money by sitting on my hands and doing nothing. Patience is a virtue. Is the FUD getting to you today? Oh, CFTC taking a run at Binance USA for allowing US clients to use their platform knowingly. Is the FUD getting to you today? BNB down a little bit. What happens there? Do they come? We'll see. They'll talk, right? If there was any wrongdoing, there'll probably be a fine. Binance, SAFU, your funds are safe. They got a bunch of saved money. They'll be able to pay that fine. Don't worry about that. Is that FUD? What other FUD are we looking at there today? We got a bunch of it. We'll talk about it all as we get to it. It doesn't get the primary place in this show. We're focused here on Signal. What is Signal over here? Do you see Bitcoin maybe making a cup and a handle over here? Or is that a double top? Have we seen the all-time high, 58,000 on Bitcoin, and we're about to correct 85% into a bear market? You decide, right? Is that a cup and handle forming? Let's look on the 8 hour. Is it possible? I mean, it could be. I'm not looking at that as a cup and handle. What I'm looking at is price coming up towards making a new all-time high and briefly just pulling back a little bit. Now, this is a lot less than I would expect it to pull back. If I extended that little bit of a trend line over there, you could say, all right, there's a little bit of support there. I'm not focused in on that. What I'm focused in on, what is the probable or what could probably happen. Do you see this little line I have over here, that resistance line we needed to break to the upside? Let me go ahead and make that a little darker now for you. If we come back into there and retest that resistance and that holds our support, I have to say that is a super uber healthy market that we're looking at. Could it go lower than that? Is it possible we could trade below 51,000 and still keep a bullish structure? Could we come down towards the support I have over here around 47,000? The trend line, broken trend line resistance now holding that support and still be bullish? Oh yeah, super bullish. Don't worry about it. What about if we're looking at a retracement and this is just the low that we've seen over here, somewhere around $55,000? Is that all possible? Yeah, I mean, it's a light level. You got the confluence of that trend line over there. And then you got you see this little 8 hour bar right over there, the top of it, and over there with support. I mean, it's possible. Who really cares? Who really cares? Move over to the 3-day over here. We're looking quite bullish, getting ready. Are we going to have a CME gap over the weekend? It seems to me that we get a lot of these CME gaps over the weekend. Is this another one setting up? We'll see. We will see. We're ready. We're in a position of control while everyone is getting bombarded with FUD today as Bitcoin is getting ready to make new all-time highs. And there are actors out there who are not done accumulating cheap Bitcoin. They want more cheap Bitcoin, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get your cheap Bitcoin. It's just how it works. We do have some big news over here today. MicroStrategy acquiring another $15 million in Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, the Chad himself, out there on Twitter this morning saying they just bought another 262 Bitcoins, right? Average price, 57,000. Is Michael scared about that double top at 58,000 or the RSI, whatever it may be? I don't consult it, and I will tell you why. Or is he front running the barrage of corporate announcements that might be coming soon from the corporate strategy? Have you seen Michael? Michael's known for making big purchases, and over the last few weeks, he's made lots of small ones whenever he can. Why is he doing that? Is that his signal to the markets over there? You can see MicroStrategy over here, press release, boom, boom, boom. Jordan, where are all the corporations that everyone's waiting for? I'm not waiting for corporations. That was an anomaly of this bull cycle that I didn't expect to be happening. The institutions, I expected the institutions to come in. The institutions need to come in. Did you expect like Mass Mutual, century-old insurance organization to take a Bitcoin position that they're going to hold on to forever? No, I didn't expect that. Did I expect Tesla to buy, $1.5 billion of Bitcoin? Not really, But yeah, that's great. That's all happening. And we did see a beautiful announcement. We covered this on Monday or Tuesday or whatever it was. We see the parent company Anchor launched CT. They took a 1,170 Bitcoin position this week. Wait and see who's next. We're going to talk about this. Market's under pressure right now. You can see the Nasdaq, by the way. It's volatile, huh? Volatile little beast it is. And for what reason? Do you want to be stuck in that volatility? Or do you want to be stuck in something really volatile like Bitcoin when the volatility is to the upside? Think about it, right? But we have already months ago set the stage for why equities had, after meeting all our objectives, were no longer interesting. And they're not. But look over here on the Nasdaq. Is this a breakout that you're seeing of the trend line over there? And is this just a retest? Well, it looks like it could potentially be a retest. You see the support here horizontal at 12,747 and this trend line over there. If it holds and price starts resuming off, making higher high than the previous price bar, then that was a breakout, retest, resumption, conquering the markets all day long. If we don't get a resumption and we trade back below that trend line and below that support, well, that's why we don't take breakouts on the indexes, the minis, or an FX to protect ourselves. Again, even if you don't take the trade, that's still conquering the markets all day long. And now you know. So that's what the Nasdaq's doing. What about the S&P? It looks a little bit better. It's just broken out of that bull flag. Breakout, retest, resumption. Conquering the markets all day long. Came up. It didn't make a new all-time high. Is that a double top we're seeing on the S&P 500? Are we looking at an imminent market crash over here as yields rise? Well, we put that video out on the 17th of February. We might see a possible correction, and it's because of yields rising. And then the media picked up as it came into resistance, yields rising. And I'm like, yeah, we're just into, this is last Friday, macro. Yeah, guys, we're just into the resistance, pay it no mind. Big rally since. What's going on today? You're looking at what's happening over here. Yields are up mighty today, opening up over here above 1.6. And could they be potentially headed towards that $2 level that we were just talking about yesterday? Is potentially in the cards. I don't know. We're going to watch. Ultimately play it out, though. Even if yields continue to rise, how does that affect Bitcoin? Right? Well, so far, Bitcoin is also, as yields have been rising, continues to trade to new all-time highs. But if yields continue to really rise and break this heavy resistance it's into, and then we see a big spike up, that's going to create some market turmoil. Do you want to be holding equities? I do not. Do you want to be holding gold and silver? I do not. Do you want to be holding Bitcoin? It could come under some pressure. But eventually, the Fed is going to have to institute yield control curves, and then it's going to fly. Don't worry about it. You can see over here, global liquidity over here, continue to tracking. This is a signal, by the way, that we took up last April. It's not like I'm showing you this chart right now and telling you, look, follow the liquidity. This is the conversation I had with all of you last April and May. Here you could see that playing out. You heard it here first. The traditional media, let's call them right now, catching up to, maybe they're watching CTM. Are we on Market Watch yet? Are they watching us? The odds, blah, 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 blah. The US 10-year has further room to go, and it could reach what? No, that's wrong. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. The US Treasury yields are still setting the tone. Yes. That said, the 10-year faces a strong technical barrier right here, right now. Yes. We've been talking about that right over here. If that breaks, it's reasonable to assume that area should hold. Yes. And prevent a further squeeze towards 2%. If it doesn't hold, it's going towards 2%, which in turn would bode well for emerging market currencies. If it holds over here, are you going to see the Mexican peso rally and put in a floor, a top, I should say, into resistance? Well, wow, that's messy. Let's continue to stay away from that. Anyway, they're just saying what we've been discussing all week long and into last week, and that's good. That's good. They're catching up over here. Jordan, been following your channel for 5 months. Love the macroeconomics and how it pulls all pieces of the current financial landscape together with the TA. Jordan, focus on the technicals. It keeps us on the right side of the trade. Not only do you provide incredible TA, thank you, the macro insight gives us great awareness to navigate the FUD. It's FUD Friday, everyone, and discern signal from noise and how it will impact our positions. Killing it. Jordan, I was thinking last weekend how your confidence is just magical. The force is with you, young one. And I appreciate that very much over here. By the way, this is important to talk about that. Jordan, would it be great if you did a video or discuss strategies to pay off crypto loans at the right time? Obviously not financial advice, to maximize the loan, but also avoid any liquidation. Absolutely, and I will, and we will. This will probably be next week's CTM training session. Definitely be covering this. It's of uber importance for those that are borrowing against platforms like BlockFi. Speaking of FUD, we'll talk about that in 1 second. Yesterday's training session, how to thrive in CTM for those just getting started, was again absolute fire. We'll be looking into that. I will definitely be talking about that. Let's talk about this first. What's the Bitcoin.com? So Bitcoin.com, trustworthy source. Were they the ones that were selling Bitcoin Cash as Bitcoin? Yeah, that's Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin.com. The ones that were selling Bitcoin Cash to people who didn't know any better as Bitcoin. By the way, as we get started here this Friday, this fun Friday over here on FUD Friday, could we smash that like button and get going over here? Could we get a little bit of love? If you haven't yet copied, even if you have no one to share it with yet this morning until you see the whole video, could you just copy and paste it right now? Let's get going over here. Dropping GBTC Premium. An anonymous group claims that BlockFi is facing solvency issues due to exposure to Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. By the way, Grayscale looking right now, hiring the people needed to go ahead and launch an ETF. Are we going to see an ETF igniting this bull market? It sure looks like it. Now, whether or not it's the Van Eck approved first, Grayscale is going to be right there at the opening, out of the gate, ready to run, and they're just going to parlay their current fund into an ETF. It's going to be absolute fire. It's coming. Is this like, if you like, I already read it, whatever, right? Like some anonymous group who's promoting DeFi is like, BlockFi, because it says in their terms of service that, like, listen, there are risks. People read Gemini's terms of service for their lending and they're like, oh my goodness, I don't want to be involved with that because they're saying what the risks are. There are risks. If you don't understand the risks, do not be in the trade. My stop loss is 0. What are you doing? Are you selling your Bitcoin here to get out of the FUD because of whatever from whatever anonymous group? Good luck. That's what it is. Good luck. But let's talk about this over here. Let's talk about what's really going on over here this morning. Brandon sharing Anthony, blah, 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 blah. Alan first. Oh, we're having a major FUD day. Right? And then Brandon's like, look, here Anthony's just announced that BlockFi just raised another $350 million at a $3 billion valuation. This is their 5th round. And by the way, didn't I say last week when people started bringing up some BlockFi FUD that, like, listen, I'll defer to what Anthony says. Anthony's actually, ground up investor in the company. If something's going on there that I'm going to be concerned about, let's see what he has to say about it. I also mentioned Dan Held's name, and I brought up to you the thread that Dan provided on that yesterday, understanding the risks, right? So everyone should be on the same page. This is a short 15-second clip.
At a $3 billion valuation. The round was co-led by Bain Capital, DST, myself via Pop Investments, and Tiger Global.
There you go. So Anthony, by the way, remember Anthony raised not through Morgan Creek Digital, but it's through his own investment. He raised, I don't know how much he raised. It was just a couple of million or something like that from retail investors to start his own fund. He's putting his money, his name, and his reputation behind this company that he knows a lot about. How do you feel about that? Or do you prefer the anonymous group? I continue, and not only continue, but this whole bull market cycle, by the way, right? Putting money onto my corporate balance sheet using BlockFi through their corporate structure, and then going ahead at technical places, whether it was 13,000 beginning, and then again at $19,000, taking out loans and buying more Bitcoin to put on that balance sheet. I've taken a reasonable amount of money and in several months turned it into something really significant, right? I feel very comfortable holding my money there. I continue to be watching out for all risks, and I will continue to do that. I think it's FUD. I'm all over the FUD. FUD is FUD. I guess we're talking about FUD today. What else do we want to talk about? I do need to share this with you to get myself fired up. Jordan, I want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Since joining this group in December, I've already achieved the goal I set out for, and I believe I'm on pace to 10x that goal. Mind-boggling, but I'm not surprised anymore. I love the mentality that you infused in me. Fearless predator. Work's not done. Eyes laser focused. That freedom, time, and ability to achieve my personal, professional, and business goals that you afforded me and my family, words aren't enough for my deepest gratitude. Even more important, I know I've become a better man. And in my own way, I will be building a better future for the next generation while taking care of those around me who want my help. Many thanks. You're an angel. Thank you so much for sharing that food for my soul and for my heart. Thank you so much. I am grateful for you. I am grateful for you. So what else? There's a couple of things that I want to talk about. I don't know what they are, so I'm going to find out what they are right now. Jordan, after you sell your Bitcoin and play the altcoin aftershock, you will be recording. Will you still be recording on YouTube? You're going to need a generator and a satellite link to transmit from your private island in the South Pacific. Come on, can you level with us? Listen, I want to know, Jordan, are you going to be around? Listen, I've been comfortable for a long time. I'm not going anywhere. We have a mission to secure our future, our children's future, and help the poorest around us. I have a passion for the markets. That passion is not going around. I will be here. Thanks, Jordan. Fan all the way from Singapore. Big shout out to you, Joshua. Jordan, I have an exit strategy. Jordan is having an, this is important. Listen up. Thank you, Gemma. Thank you, Gemma. Jordan, is having an exit strategy relevant for everyone? Was just wondering if more people who got in recently, $40,000, $50,000 levels, so they don't get burnt on downside risk, for holders and people who have been dollar cost averaging diligently at different levels, would having an exit strategy remain relevant? Look, very important. In my opinion, it's more important for those who are getting in at $40,000, $50,000, less so for them. I believe that they're in under the bear market low. But anyone who's buying above the bear market low, the coming bear market low, you better have an exit strategy. Otherwise, you're going to be holding through the bear market and waiting for the next bull market phase in order to be up in your investment. That doesn't make any sense when you could be crushing it this cycle and preparing yourself for the next. We will talk about it as we get closer to it. All very important stuff to share with you. Oh, just a brief little interlude over here as my good friend Vitalik, right? So listen, I've been very clear the whole time that I believe Ethereum outperforms, and it has greatly outperformed Bitcoin if you go back over the last 12 months, right? Now going through the rest of this bull market phase, I believe coming up to before that parabolic move, there could be a place in time where Bitcoin and Ethereum are almost neck and neck once again. I believe that's going to happen. And then you're going to see one overshoot the other, and then it's going to come back down the other way, whatever. Listen, it's highly speculative. Ethereum to this moment is still highly speculative. They're trying to make it work. Vitalik is like, listen, there's a good chance that the next imminent upgrade is going to be able to 100x the scaling ability of Ethereum, bringing it to 1,000 to 4,000 transactions per second, depending on the complexity of those particular transactions. That's great. He continues to be building. They're continuing, not only him, massive amount of talent, a pool of talent building on Ethereum. I hope it's a success. But do understand that the price is speculative. The reason that the price is going towards the moon is because of the rampant speculation taking place in the sector. Bitcoin is proven technology. Ethereum is speculative technology, just reinforcing that over there as we work on getting this is, by the way, on Cointelegraph.com. You could find it either in the editor section or the hot if you're interested in it. The RSI, Jordan, can't wait for your session before the weekend. Could you perhaps touch on the subject of the monthly RSI and Bitcoin price in past cycles? I was going over historical charts and saw Bitcoin correcting big times when we reached a monthly reading of 95. Do you think we might get a similar situation before shaking off and getting a second run? Thank you, brother. I do not consult the RSI at all. Why? Well, when you're looking at a strongly trending market, that RSI could remain overbought for a long time. In a sideways market, You know, you could use an oscillator. You could use the RSI to know when something's overbought, oversold. Good chance that's the range, no problem. But when something like Bitcoin starts roaring here during its bull market, especially if the model breaks to the upside, like over here, if we see this blue line go above this purple line, that means the model's breaking. If that does occur, the RSI is going to be so overbought, it's going to be ridiculous. I do not consult the RSI, and there's no way I will for this Bitcoin bull market phase over here. In my opinion, it's irrelevant. So there we are on that. And the same thing with the cycle pie. Listen, when you see me focusing on the cycle pie, there'll be a reason for it. I'm not consulting the cycle pie right now. We're not anywhere close to a top. We're not close to a double wave top, and we're not close to the cycle peak top, right? If we're trading just in a couple of weeks at Bitcoin 90,000, then you'll see me looking at like, oh, what's going on here? Or do we need to be talking about that? All right. So there we are right here as we get going. Silver under pressure with those yields rising, rightfully so. Watch out for the 24.32 level. That could get ugly. Gold over here. And oh, by the way, let me jump back to the DXY. Let me show you what's going on the dollar really quick because we're just coming into some resistance, right? By the end of the session today, this could hold. And if we're trading under this trend line, then I would think that we're going to see the Nasdaq resuming off here, right? I guess what I'm getting at, or the picture that I'm painting, is that everyone, big shout out to you, brother. Thanks for being in this community. Right now we're seeing the Nasdaq into resistance, we're seeing the DXY into resistance, and we're seeing the yields over here into strong resistance. Right? By the way, pre-market gapping up, getting a lot of people FOMOing. Are they going to get crushed in the face? Is the DXY going to hold there and the NASDAQ going to hold? I don't know. All those things could happen. That's what I'm prepared for. We know if it doesn't, and we know if we break up, we could see a big move here. There could be a big and quick move breaking this resistance towards that $2 level. I have 193 as the fine line there of resistance. We'll see how that transpires. If that happens, do rest assured the NASDAQ is going to be taking out this low over here of 12,143. Be prepared, right? Is that a buying opportunity? I would think so. I'm bullish tech. I'm bullish on tech long term. This right here was a nice pullback to that. I told you equities were not remotely attractive. If we had a correction, then maybe a little and maybe a little. But what would you prefer? A lightly leveraged, NASDAQ position or a lightly leveraged Bitcoin position? If you haven't gotten that far yet, Jordan, I'm sick of Bitcoin, whatever, then whatever. But there we are. ETH is fine. Do your homework. If you're scared, get out. Okay. So what else? Thank you, Stefano. Thank you, Stefano. Thank you, George. Thank you, Elias, Lemmy. Thank you, Cameron Tribe. Thank you, Priyavita. Thank you, Greg. Thank each and every one of you helping. The reason the content has been on fire lately is because I've had more time to work on it and prepare because I don't have to be removing spam comments. You guys are absolutely legendary. Thank you so much for making this show sure. Could you explain a little bit NFT? It's called pure speculation. That's all it is. If you want to be involved in exploring and expanding your mind, researching, have fun with it. The same thing not only with Ethereum, but all of DeFi. DeFi is the future, right? If you want to be expanding your by the way, did you see Georgia just passed a bill that they will be teaching, I think it's 10th, 11th graders about cryptocurrency so that they have some type of financial literacy. Now, I don't know whether or not they're preparing them for the digital dollar and indoctrinating them, or they're actually looking on helping educate these kids to give them a future. Whatever, I don't really know. But yeah, NFTs, look, I'm interested in the most important trade that matters. That's Bitcoin. And if you're interested in NFTs right now, as people are widely speculating and a lot of people are going to lose a massive amount of money. I mean, unless you're buying a $69 million piece of digital art, I think you're out of the game and it doesn't really matter anyway, right? If you're asking me what would I prefer to buy, physical digital art or some, physical digital art, physical painted art, a masterpiece, a classic, right? A Monet, or would I prefer digital art? I mean, you don't have to ask me twice. I'm invested in Bitcoin. There we go. So what else? What else? Yeah, this is a big difference, by the way, between Bitcoin, proof of work, and Ethereum, centralized. Miners are in control. I don't really get it. I don't know how consensus works on Ethereum. If someone could explain that to me very simply, I had a discussion with someone on Twitter. If someone could help me out, even tag me on Twitter explaining how consensus on Ethereum works. I was under the impression it's what Vitalik said. I don't know. In Ethereum, it's not the miners who control Bitcoin. We already had that episode where it doesn't work that way. It's consensus. If you're running a full node, you decide. That forms consensus. So there's a big difference. Well, there's an enormous difference between obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything else. But I would like to know how consensus is formed on Ethereum. That's pretty important. 51% of ownership. That doesn't sound. So anyway, this is signal right there. We had a lot of people selling Bitcoin at $27,000. I'm like, you sold Bitcoin at $27,000? They're like, yeah, I sold at $38,000 too. You sold Bitcoin at $38,000? Obviously, you have no idea about finance or money. But anyway, here we are. Here we are trying to put out the FUD today. And there's a lot of it, whether you're talking about what's going on BlockFi, whether you're talking about what's going on across the board. It's all FUD, right? If there are any risks, and by the way, risks are real, but Jordan, the FDIC does not back up BlockFi. Do you understand that the FDIC is insolvent? It's a fractional reserve system. If there's any problem in the banking sector and banks are going under, they're all intertwined and connected. We learned that lesson in 2008. The FDIC is not going to be there, right? But BlockFi, what they do have is they own the collateral. If people are going under, they could call in those loans. We'll see what happens. All we could do is, and don't put all of your eggs in. You have to have multiple strategies, right? If all the money I hold in my corporation goes bust, okay, here we go. We're still good. Doesn't matter, right? You got to protect yourself. Bitcoin forces you to think through so many different possibilities. Bitcoin is unique in that it changes your life in many different ways. It really changes the way that you view life. So what else? What else are we looking at? FUD-free live streams. It's more than a year. It's true. It's true. Whether it was the tether thing, I knocked it right in the head really quick, keep on moving. Anyway, we're focused on what really could affect Bitcoin, and it's not FUD. Is that 10-year treasury? Is the macro view we bring into the market something we need to watch out for? We continue to do so. The greatest risk to Bitcoin during this bull market phase that we're in right now, between now and the end of September or thereafter, is not BlockFi, it's not Tether, it's not whatever. It's the financial market. It's this how do you say, this fragile system that these diabolical banksters have created. These central planners continue to take advantage of us, causing extreme inequality, which is why we're doing what we're doing. We have to find a way to counterbalance that. Thanks, brother. Thank you, brother. So I'm just trying to keep everyone, I guess, free of FUD on this red day today. Look at this on Ethereum. I mean, wow, that's price action that I like. That little bull flag right over there below all-time highs on Ethereum, getting ready to run. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. A lot of people liked Bitcoin yesterday, trading up at $58,000. Bitcoin's $55,000. They're a little nervous. Why? It was a 4 or 5% discount. Do you not think? Is it if or when that we break new all-time highs? Is it if or when we trade at $120,000? What's your personal view? What's your personal view? Is it if or when we trade at $120,000 in Bitcoin? And does that happen, right? What's the price target I put out there publicly? $100,000 by the end of June on Bitcoin. I try to be conservative. Let's see what happens. Friday, ask me anything, putting out that FUD. Let's move in over here and see if there's any questions we could talk about. We're about 35 minutes into the session. We have the equity markets opening up. Nasdaq is still trading right near that low. We're going to look up off that low, looking to see if we hold over here. We're going to watch the markets. We're going to see what the 10-year does this session. It could be volatile. Remember last Friday, you saw the market spike up early, then get crushed, and then roar up 4% the Nasdaq. I mean, huge volatility. It could happen again here going into the weekend, and there we are. So what else? No. Yeah. So we covered this, I think it was like sometime last year. People like, Jordan, this guy Benjamin, he's a nice guy. He's a nuclear physicist. What do you think of his lengthening cycles and diminishing returns theory? And I was like, I took a look at it. I think like a 10-minute look. And I was like, it's nonsense. That's not happening. What do I think of that? He doesn't, my whole thesis of Bitcoin is surrounded by the halving event. He doesn't consider that in his analysis. He thinks that's irrelevant. You lost me again right there. I saw him putting out like price predictions from everything in their mother, from BNB to DOT to blah, blah, blah. You can't even get Bitcoin right. Should you really be putting out price predictions on anything else? He said we would have a difficult time in 2021 sustaining above 20,000 Bitcoin. I mean, listen, he might genuinely be a nice guy, but consult those who have a history of being right, or you could follow like fun YouTuber. It's up to you. I don't know, but that's the most I'll ever say about that. And we're done. So what else? Yeah, Vitalik, the co-founder, the co-creator of Ethereum, says that he thinks that intimately is the word he used, that Ethereum is going to be able to scale 100x from its ability right now. That's big news. That's awesome. We like it. So what else? What do I think about Tesla's price action? Well, I briefly mentioned last week, right over here, this is exactly when I briefly mentioned that, wait, this looks attractive to me. This is the first time I could say in a long time that Tesla looks attractive to me. That's all I could say about it. Yeah, it's tracking the Nasdaq pretty closely over here. They hold Bitcoin. Will Tesla buy more Bitcoin? That's the question. Square took an initial $50 million position of Bitcoin. It's always the same way. You buy a little Bitcoin, and then you buy a little more. And then you buy a lot more and realize you don't own enough. Is Tesla, they made their first purchase. It's usually the smallest purchase. Will it be their last purchase of Bitcoin, or are they buying more? If they buy more, I'm going to be uber bullish on Bitcoin. Obviously, they made more money off their Bitcoin investment than they had off selling cars since inception. We'll see what happens over there. But yeah, that was attractive on that pullback over there. Boom, 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 boom. Like to hear that, brother. I like to hear that. So what else are we looking at? I'm trying to find out what's going on. Thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph, for being part of this community for a long time over there. Like to hear that over there. Boom, boom, boom. Space trucker. Physical art, analog, Rolex, maybe. Yeah. So by the way, I guess you could call that shiny metal rock also analog, right? But I like to hold that. And by the way, if you're concerned about privacy, you might want to rethink that shiny metal rock. That privacy built in. The laws of, at least depends on what region you're in, are built, for privacy over there. Bitcoin is a public ledger. I don't know. Again, you decide, right? You decide what you're going, like, or is that like MySpace, Facebook, Bitcoin, the next new coin? You decide because Bitcoin's the Facebook. Well, Bitcoin's the MySpace, and something newer and better is going to be invented. You decide. We've had these conversations for years. This is nothing new. We've had these conversations for many years. And before I entered the space, they already had these conversations for years beforehand. Bitcoiners are truly legendary. They're amazing. Anyway, what else is going on over there? Cardano, let's take a look at Cardano over there. But that for sure, Brendan, Crypto Trades and Tech, is much more dialed into Cardano than myself. I was looking, and the timing was, I think, lucky, right? I was calling for a correction as they launched the mainnet. We had a correction in Bitcoin at the same time, so I think that's coincidental. I don't think this was caused because of launching the mainnet. I think this is pretty bullish over here, this consolidation since then. And you can see over here, I drew this line in, right, off that top touch before I looked at Cardano and seen all of this stuff. But you could see that resistance holding. And that's the break. Once you break above that resistance, get fired up. Cardano could be looking to take out new all-time highs during this all-season bull market. If you want to talk about price predictions, go to the clearest one of them all, put out many months ago, November. On the Bitcoin playlist, you'll see a channel that says Ethereum price prediction and altcoins during this bull market, during alt season. Find out the clearest way to play alts and what type of price exits you should be looking for. Do it, right? But as far as anybody else or you know, whatever, entertainment's entertainment. I have a job to do here. It's a very important job. I got a lot to accomplish and I'm working on it. Yep. So what else are we looking at? Is Taco mentioned? It will be a breakout. There's no question we can't do this without head snacks. Taco day. We're gonna just take a minute here to enjoy this Friday over here to keep it lighthearted because that's the way to do it. Let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on. Brett, lifelong best friend, talking kindergarten here.
Markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing, just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room, grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
It's a taco day. It's a taco day. Yeah, I love it. By the way, let's go ahead and spread some love. Could you take a second of your time and go ahead and smash the like button on Brett's video that he created for this community? I absolutely love it. Every time I hear the song, I love it more. There was a question asked by Sandra. Sandra was asking if she had bought tech stocks in 2000, something about whether or not she should be selling them. Listen, not financial advice. I'm bullish on tech going forward. And I think that this new world that's developing over here, I'm ultra bullish on tech. But you have to do your own research, right? This is not a place to throw out like, what do you think of this? And here's my advice. But this is Ask Me Anything. I am super bullish on tech going forward. There's no question about that. That's right. Right there. You buy a little bit more, and then you understand you don't own enough. That's Bitcoin. And the reason we see these altcoin grabs is so people could buy more Bitcoin. Here's the perfect example of that. BlockFi, right? Block One, not to be confused with BlockFi. Block One, the EOS Bitcoin grab, they're holding 140,000 Bitcoin. They did pay a little fine to the SEC for what they did, unregistered, whatever, but here they are. Everyone's trying to get their Bitcoin over there. Look at the Tezos Foundation holding on a significant amount of Bitcoin. Interesting. What else? What else are we looking at? Yeah, Kenneth. Happy to have you a part of this community, Kenneth. You bring a lot of good energy. Really grateful for all of that and all of you. What else are we looking at over there? Boom, boom. Wow. Shane. Yeah, Italy, supposedly a new strain has been back on lockdown. I think Europe is having a little bit of trouble of rolling out the vaccines. We're seeing other places like China, which was able to do that expediently quickly. Places like the US now leading the world with the asterisk of China, who's well ahead as far as getting those vaccines out. That's what's happening over there. Stefano, thanks for sharing Brandon's channel. Definitely, if you want to plug in a little more to what's going on the heartbeat of Cardano and other altcoins, check it out. Branding is conquering the markets to the core. There we go. What else are we looking at over there? Yeah, Pax Gold is no difference, in my opinion, than the paper gold market. It's just a play on the price of gold. It's not owning or holding physical gold. Does that make it a bad investment? No, it doesn't. What is it? Is it easy? Would I prefer, owning gold on the COMEX or holding Pax Gold? For me, it would be Pax Gold. I mean, do your own research, figure it out. So what else? Brandon's the best. Amazing video, right? Boom, 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 boom. There you go, Bobby. I'm exiting 1 to 2 weeks after the Bitcoin top. That's right, Bob. Altcoins crushing it, knowing what's up. Bobby right here will be exiting at the height of the speculation of the euphoric blow off top. Bobby will be exiting because Bobby knows what's up. And that's how it is. And Bobby, you're crushing it, kid. A market is a market. It's repeated itself over and over and over again. You just have to learn how to read price. Read Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, Jesse Livermore. There's only a few things that have really formed myself as a trader. It's the Market Wizards and the New Market Wizards book. All books talking about experience of traders. Not how to trade, but experiences and characteristics and traits of traders. That's what's been inspiring for me. By the way, if you're on this Conquering the Markets course, the first module is how I got started 20 years ago. Watch that and see what you think. Along those lines. Space Trucker right back at you. Run DMC. Run DMC. What else are we looking at over here? Gene, what do we got over there? I can't read those symbols. But I love when Gene flies out the Holy Spirit. That's for sure. Thanks for smashing the like button. We're short of 1,000, but I think we're doing it in record time with only with 2,000 people here. Could you imagine we have 2,000 people here that we get to spend our time together in this group, bringing the clarity we bring, being the most dialed into the market, not just Bitcoin, but all of the markets. And that includes Ethereum and every other altcoin, because I told you about a year before alt season started exactly when it would start and why, right? Look at that beautiful bull flag, right? What happens if we break down out of the bull flag, got some really strong support in this area around, I'll call it, let's say 1550 to round down to a whole number. Really strong support over there. Break out above. Are we breaking out above 2,000 on Ethereum? Is that going to be on Ethereum's new launch of their upgrade and they're scaling? Whatever. I mean, it's not the sharding. It's another upgrade that will lead to the sharding. They continue to work at it. We'll see what happens. I root for Ethereum. I root for crypto. That's for sure. I'm gonna boom. I'm gonna jump out into real time over here and see what you all are talking about as we continue over here. Those for head snack, crushing it. If you didn't already, please take a second and smash the like button. My boy, lots of love. Gordon, can I bring the 10 yield down? I could care less about the 10-year. The 10 years being a market, it's doing what it should do as they continue to run the printers hot, as they continue to rob the future of our children, right? As they continue to rob and rape the future of our children over here. The 10-year rising with inflation, good. That's what it should do, right? That's what it should do. Is that going to affect Bitcoin? Nope. We're good to go. Don't you worry about it. Look, we'll ultimately play it out in your head. Could the Fed lose control of the system? They're not ready until the digital dollar's introduced. They have to keep the music playing. They have to keep it going so that they can implement the next plan of their diabolical agenda. That's how it works. All right? So what else? Bruce, thank you for being here. We got, I believe, a fire session going today. We're coming off 3 or 4 fire sessions in a row. It's been a fire week. Conquering the markets. Thank you, Will. Definitely. We're almost up to 82,000 subscribers. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And I have to say that the community keeps growing stronger and stronger. And I go to the Discord group to find out what's going on in the markets. That is my connection to the outside world. It's not on Cointelegraph. It's not like on wherever, right? It's the Discord group. You guys are all absolutely just an enormous blessing and asset. Oh, yeah. So we got someone, Corn Pop was a bad dude, focused highly on signal over here. Focused highly. This is, right? This is how you do it. You got to focus on signal over there. So what else? the cheap price and the huge marketing arm of Ripple attracts people to XRP. But we did our job. We did our job protecting people, doing what we do, and that's what we do. Jordan, final position. Want to add final position to Bitcoin? Like, would I add to Bitcoin over here at $55,000? By the way, just for those that are just joining us, to the channel, it's been a while since I looked at this chart with you. So let me pull out Plan B's stock to flow. I don't follow stock to flow, but I follow the pretty chart, and I'm going to share that with you really quick. Let me just find it, and I'll pull it up. It'll take just a moment. Is this RSI, by the way? Hold on one second. Over here, I think this is relative strength index on Bitcoin. You could see us over here right around now. What are we at? We're at a little above 90. People are worried that as we hit, above 95 into about 97, that has been the top of the market. Are we close to that, or are we far? Are we looking for a pullback at any time coming? I'm not looking for a pullback right now. We just had 2 pullbacks on Bitcoin, right? 1, 2. I'm looking over here to take out the all-time high and to put in the next leg up. This next leg up could be life-changing for a lot of people in many different ways. And there are many people. I talked about different levels of interest yesterday, but there are many people even buying their first fractional reserve of Bitcoin right now at $56,000. That could also be the beginning of being life-changing for many people over there. What I want to focus in on is, where's my pretty Plan B chart? What's going on, Plan B? What's going on? You're falling off the hook. There it is. Here it is right now. This is, by the way, at the bottom, you're looking at how many more months to the next halving. The halving event is the most significant event in Bitcoin, and it's 4-year cycle. It's what causes the bull market phase, which ends in a parabolic move and then a vertical blow off top, setting off the bear market, the Wall Street cheat sheet, that ends in a capitulation, and then you have that accumulation. 15 months, this dark green area, 15 months to the next cycle. That dark green area right over here, right over here. If I show it you on the halving tracker, you're going to see it right here, 15 months to the next halving, and then we do it all again. By the way, if you look at 15 months to the next halving, you go left, and you find out where we are, approximately 35 months to the halving, right over there. Right over there, you could see that's the bear market low. So is it fair to say that pretty soon, wherever price is it going to be here at $57,000? Is it going to be at $70,000? Is it going to be at $80,000? I don't know where it's going to be. Is it safe to say, all right, I think this is going to be the bear market low? Is Bitcoin cheap underneath the bear market low? Listen, everyone, thank you for sharing and doing what we do. It's absolutely unique. It's very special. For whatever reason that we're here together, I'm grateful for it. You all make me a better person. You all just continually push me to up my game. And that's what I'm concerned about. I want to always be performing at peak performance. You all have seen me. Do you remember several months ago, I had a flare of Lyme. I was on the live stream it was a few days. I couldn't even speak. Do you remember I couldn't even speak? I couldn't put out a sentence. And what did I say? I said, I apologized. I explained what was happening health-wise. And then I said, for that, I'm going to go an extra hour here. I'm going to push through it, because when things are hardest, that's when you need to dig the deepest and push the most. That's the attitude you have to take if you want to be successful in life. That's it. We're not only viewing the markets here, we're not only creating this really strong community and friendships with each other, but we're all working on that growth mindset and becoming a better person so that we can have a greater effect on the world. If you want to change the world, start with yourself, and that's conquering the markets all day long. All right, everyone, it's Friday. I really wanted to go ahead. Look at this. It's not just, it's great you're pointing this out. Rico Funk, thanks to the mods, Brandon, Heath, Alan AU, all the active members, and it's everyone. It's everyone. We have to signal these people out because they're just like, add so much. But there are people, and there are many of them, listen, the person asking the question on getting started in Discord is just as important or relevant as anyone else. And that's for sure. and that's for sure. I have a beautiful morning ahead of me. I'm going to go ahead and cut this short. I was ready to spend all day here together in an Ask Me Anything session, but I think we crushed it. I really think that we crushed the markets. We have that clarity we needed going into the weekend. If anything comes, and Gene gets a shout out. Everyone gets a shout out that like conquering the markets. Everyone, right? The person that is following us, Gemma, right? Forever on the YouTube, like you're just as important as everyone else. And when I say Gemma, like everyone is Gemma, Kimberly, right? Everyone, Timothy, all of you, all very special to me. Thank you for this beautiful session. If anything comes up over the weekend, you know that I'm going to be active on Twitter. And that's that. Have a beautiful day, everyone. And I'll talk to you soon. Let's go out with some head snack today. I want to see this again. How about that?
Markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip a matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing, just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room, grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
It's a taco day. It's a taco day.
And then we got to go out. We got to go out with our jam too. We got to go out with our jam too. The sessions are Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. There's a description below. You can get all the information. Join the Telegram this group so that you are alerted whenever we go live. You gotta give until it hurts. You gotta give until it hurts. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon.